Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great start to your week, and I hope this video can make it a little bit better. Since it's the start of a new week, we also have our new weekly adventures. So we have a 1, a 2, and a 3.5 star adventure. For the 1 star, it is up against Jinx with the special rules of magic number. When the player draws a card, set its cost to 3. So a couple different ways you can play this. One, this can be decent for a lot of those very expensive decks because you can cheat out some of your more expensive cards. So decks potentially like Nasus, Ornn, Volibear, they all can benefit from this because you can get some pretty massive cost reduction on a lot of your bigger units. Now you do want to avoid any cheaper decks with this because if you draw a cheap card, it's still going to get its cost set to 3, which can really screw up your game plan. Playing some of the mid-tier decks though, like Alawi or Gwen, they're able to more or less ignore this power because a lot of their units are already around that 3 cost anyways. So yeah, if you want to ignore it, you can play some of those mid-tier ones, but if you really want to benefit from this, then you can go for some of those more expensive champions and really try to get some nice cost reduction going on. For the 2 star, we have game start, all players summon a Prowling Cutthroat, which you see that right here, a 1 cost 1/1 with Elusive and Fearsome. Now this is pretty decent for a lot of different champions. For one, Kaisa will like this card because you gain 2 keywords right off the bat. You give this 1 more keyword and this can proc your star powers and give it 2/2. Nidalee will also enjoy this. Nidalee likes having extra units on the board that they can transform with their spell they're getting from their 2nd star power. Equipment decks will also like this, such as Kayn or Aatrox, because even though you and the enemy are both summoning the same unit, you can give yours an equipment so that it has the advantage over the enemy and can start some of that scaling or cost reduction for you. Also, if you're wanting to run Corrupted Star Fragment, you will have a free unit to consume at the very start of the game to give you that elusive, which would be quite nice. So yeah, a lot of different ways you can play around this, and it's just giving you a nice little advantage. But again, be aware that the enemy is getting one of these as well. Next up then, Crush. The foes units have Overwhelm. So you just have to be sure you have some strong enough blockers to deal with the enemy. So pretty much everyone will be able to deal with this. You just have to be aware of it going in. So don't try to block with any of your units that have a very low health pool. That's not really going to do much. So some champions will have a slight disadvantage here. In some sense would be ones like Misfortune or Gwen, where often you want to block with your free elusive unit, or not elusive, free ephemeral unit. But against Overwhelm, that block is going to do almost nothing, so make sure you have some beefier units to keep the enemy from going through your defenses. That being said, you could just make sure the enemies are all dead or stunned or frostbitten so they can't attack anyways. Again, a lot of different ways you could deal with this, and it's more one you can deal with on anyone. Next up then for the 3.5, we have Age of Conquest. When the foe's units attack, grant their strongest attacking unit 2+ power. Iterative enhancement, round start the foe summons the next turret, and then the vicious enemy, just making everything a little bit harder. Also note, this is against Swain, and Swain recently got a buff in the last patch, so he's going to be even easier to level up. When he levels up, he gets Overwhelm, and has a very strong effect of Nexus Strike, deal like 3 to 5 damage to all of your units, plus your Nexus. So just take Swain very seriously, as he could be a pretty major threat. The iterative enhancement, this is kind of putting a timer on your game because every round they're summoning a more and more powerful turret until they get to the T-Hex, which is like a free 8/8 that they're just going to get every single round. So since this is putting a timer on your game, you want to try to be ending the game a little bit faster. Then Age of Conquest, this is again just making it a little bit harder. So really just be aware that when the enemy attack, their strongest unit is going to get a little bit stronger. Should be fine as long as it doesn't catch you off by surprise. And really for this, you want to be using just some of your stronger champions that are good at closing the games very quickly. So Diana, Jax, Teemo, Jinx, Nidalee, a lot of different champions you can use. Just be aware you're trying to end the game fairly quickly because this will just scale out of control. Alright, that's it for this set of weeklies. Seems pretty easy, to be honest. Even the 3.5 is easier than a lot of the other ones we've gotten. Iterative enhancement is a bit annoying, but definitely not as annoying as like the Tryndamere power. Let me know though what you think of the weeklies down below, and if you found any powerful combination or tips to help out your other fellow players. That's it for me though. I hope you all have a great week.